Welcome to Wanted Down Under, the show that catapults a British family right across to the other side of the world to help them make the biggest decision of their life. Anthony and Alex Evans and 9-year-old twins Amy and Rebecca are dreaming of a new start in Australia. Their lifestyle in rural Shropshire is seriously wearing them down.
We feel that we're working too much in this country to make ends meet, and we think that perhaps over there, life might be a little bit better.
Mum and Dad are music teachers with an impossible working schedule.
My work is out of the local area. Anthony mismatches several part-time jobs, and we both teach privately from home in the evenings as well.
Would teaching down under really be any easier?
I think the biggest fear of the move to Australia would be financial, to make sure we could find enough work to be able to afford to live.
And could they bear to leave Anthony's son and daughter behind?
If Aaron said to me, don't go, I'd have to think about it. But if Katie asked me not to go, I don't think I'd go.
So might the dream of a simpler life in Australia prove to be an illusion, or will they go where they're wanted down under? In the current economic downturn, Australia's a strong draw. Last year, over 60 Brits a day made the move, grabbing the chance to transfer their skills. But had they really thought through their big decision to emigrate? We've pushed 20 British families to breaking point as they find out about real life down under. And after just 1 week, they'll have to vote one way or the other. Will they stay in the UK or will they move to Australia? Alex and Anthony Evans are passionate about music. They met through a band, and whether playing, teaching or conducting, their life depends on it.
We both enjoy every area of music. It's just too strong, really, to describe sometimes. Neither of us could really function without music.
But their workloads are exhausting. Alex commutes hundreds of miles each week teaching woodwind in schools across Wales.
My job itself entails travelling from one school to another. But because I teach in a county which isn't the county we live in, I have a long journey time out there and a long journey time back at the end of the day. So whereas ideally working in schools should fit with the children's schooling hours, with my additional travelling it means I leave before they go to school and I get back after they do.
Anthony teaches in a school, gives private lessons from home in the evenings and works as a bandmaster for the Territorial Army.
My work with the TA takes me away on weekends because it's like weekend soldiering, and we do a lot of our engagements with the band on weekends. That has got a great impact on family life. We don't get a chance to do things together. Not much at all, really.
With such a demanding schedule, there's little time or energy left over for twins Amy and Rebecca.
It can get to the stage that by the time the weekend comes, you really don't feel like doing any family-orientated activities because you want to collapse in a heap.
The Evans desperately need to simplify their lives, and as the main visa applicant, Alex is optimistic that Australia is the answer.
Having looked at the jobs market over there seems to be far more job opportunities for music teachers, particularly instrumental music teachers, in Australia than there currently are in England.
But a move down under would be an emotional wrench. The family would be forced to give up their cherished home.
Our house is fantastic, it's quirky, it's different, it's stuck down a dirt track in the middle of nowhere that sat-nav often doesn't find, which we both love. And we love to be able to pick it up and take it with us.
And Anthony is facing the daunting prospect of leaving his 2 grown-up children, Aaron and Katie, behind.
I've got a lump in my throat at times, thinking, should I leave her behind and things like that. But I think what's best for me is important as well. You know, my happiness and my life with Alex is important.
Katie is definitely, I think she's probably going to be the hardest person to miss. Katie has big influence on all of us. The girls absolutely idolise her. And I think I have been incredibly lucky that as well as a stepdaughter, I've gained a very close friend. And I think she'll be the hardest to miss more than anyone else.
Are the Evans ready for the sacrifices a move down under would demand? To help them decide, we've offered them a life-changing opportunity, a trip to Melbourne on the south coast of Australia. We found 3 different lifestyles for our family to sample. One in the country, one in the city and one on the coast. Each one with the offer of a job and a brand new lifestyle for them to enjoy on their budget. First, let's take a look at the country lifestyle. The outer suburbs of Melbourne are a great place to relax in peace and quiet. Picturesque towns with quaint shops and cafes are only a short drive away. Chilling out in suburbia is much cheaper than city life, and a family home would set you back in the region of £200,000. Alan Capello is the director of a music teaching agency, and he's on the lookout for new staff. Part-time work here would pay around £240 per week.
Students are usually learning in small groups where they support each other, learning within a social environment. In this area we've got national parks, the plant and wildlife are just gorgeous. It's just fantastic for the family to be there. We hope you've liked what you've seen. We are looking for part-time teachers and we'd love to hear from you.
So that was the kind of lifestyle they could enjoy in the country. Let's take a look at what's possible in the city on their budget. Melbourne is Australia's capital of culture, and it's host to music, food and arts from all around the world. And if you're a fan of cosmopolitan cafe life, this is the city for you. City properties don't come cheap. A small family home would set you back around £300,000. With a part-time teaching job at this urban music school, you could earn around £150 a week. Richard Bodiner is the co-owner.
We teach all different instruments, and we have about 20 teachers teaching 270 students coming through the school each week. Here in Box Hill, we're really close to all of the music of Melbourne. Everywhere you turn, there's music. Alex, your ability as a flute, saxophone and clarinet teacher would be invaluable here at Whitehorse Music, so please come down under.
It looks like their lifestyle could shape up pretty well in the city. But what about a new life on the coast? The beaches of Melbourne are a great place for the family. With bags of open space and entertainment on offer, you kids are just going to love it. But with the promise of such a great lifestyle, coastal properties don't come cheap, and family homes cost upwards of £250,000. Justin Forster is the boss of a local music agency which supplies teachers to schools all over Melbourne. A job here would pay $40, around £20 per hour.
We take a very fun and lively approach with our students, and it's really important to me that each student looks at music as a way of life. We've got so many fantastic things to see and do down here. The beaches and bays are amazing. Alex, at the moment, I'm looking for a woodwind keyboard teacher. When you come to Australia, please look me up. That'd be great. I'm really keen to meet you.
So there were 3 possible lifestyle options for the Evans family to try out in Melbourne. In the country, where a relaxing lifestyle, cheaper property and a job at Alan Capello's music agency awaits them. In the city, where a buzzing art scene and teaching work at Richard Bodiner's music school is up for grabs. And on the coast, where a carefree beach life and a job at Justin Forster's agency is on offer. So 3 very different possibilities for our family to try. So which one suited them best? The Evans are trying out the coast option for their week down under. Would life on the other side of the world really be that much simpler? An uncomfortable 10,000-mile journey to Melbourne gets them off to a shaky start.
The flight was a bit bumpy and there was a lot of turbulence, especially on the second leg. It was quite rough in places.
It just seems to have been a long time coming to actually getting out here, and it's really nice to have actually arrived.
Having made it this far, the family are feeling optimistic.
The weekend's going to be really exciting, I think. Really looking forward to it.
The girls were in cheers as soon as we actually hit Australian soil, saying, yes, we've arrived in Melbourne, this is it.
They're anxious to see if Australia is the solution to their complicated way of life. Situated in the southeast, Melbourne is the cultural capital of Australia. It's packed with theatres, galleries and museums, has a celebrated programme of arts events and a buzzing music scene. With a population of 3.8 million, it's the second largest city in Australia after Sydney. For their trial week, the family are staying in a 3-bedroom house in Sandringham, a smart beachside suburb just 20 minutes from the city centre.
Daddy, let's have a look.
Wow.
Go on then.
It's the family's first encounter with a modern Australian house. Given their quirky house in the UK, what will they make of it?
Yeah, it looks a bit small from outside, doesn't it, really? But it is quite spacious inside.
Wow.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Very big.
Look for something like this.
We're staying here, aren't we?
Yeah.
So far, so good. How about the kitchen?
It'll be Daddy's
Looks
favourite
good.
place, probably.
Yeah, so check this cooking out.
That's Daddy's kitchen,
Daddy,
yes.
they've got loads of space.
Loads of space, yeah.
Naughty room.
This property has a back garden, but it's a fraction of the size of their UK one.
Very small.
It's very small. Very cosy though, isn't it?
They're not too impressed until Anthony spots the ultimate Aussie accessory.
There's a Barbie.
That's you happy as well?
Yes. Big old Barbie. There's gas as well.
Witness the male of the species bonding with new equipment.
Jolly good.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what the weather does.
Back in the house, it's time to work out who will sleep where. We're entering dangerous territory.
I'm at the room. I'm at the top. I'm at the top this night.
You'll have to swap
You're
over.
not sharing a bedroom. We want you to sleep.
That's a no from Mum and Dad then. On to the master bedroom, which the twins think is up for grabs.
Sorry.
Nice picture.
Our
My
bedroom.
bedroom.
Excuse me, Lady Mac.
Oh dear, Alex has got a fight on her hands.
You are not having it.
And Anthony is predicting more trouble.
We're going to have some problems with the bedrooms, I think. Because there's bunk beds in one and they both want that room. But we don't want to put them together because they'll never go to sleep.
So how are they feeling about the rental property?
So I think it feels a little bit like a holiday home. But that could be a typical Australian house. We don't know until we see some more.
Yes, we both looked on the internet and obviously looked into properties and things, and you're never quite sure what to expect until you get over here.
I think it would be quite similar to the house we're looking for, but for our work, to do what we do, teaching music, I don't think this area would be, with such close neighbours, I don't think they'd appreciate it so much if we started playing the trumpet in here.
The family have had their first taste of Australian property and the jury's out. Tomorrow, things are going to get a whole lot more complicated. Back in the UK, the Evans are deeply attached to their home. It's a 3-bedroom property in a remote hamlet in Shropshire with a big garden and plenty of space to play their instruments as loudly as they like. If they braved the UK housing market and sold up, they would have £200,000, around 400,000 Australian dollars to spend. They need a 3-bed home with a dedicated space for practicing and teaching music without upsetting the neighbours. Given Melbourne's property market, they'd be lucky to find somewhere big enough for the money. We found them 3 properties to get a realistic idea of what they could afford if they made the big decision to emigrate. Property 1 is a 3-bedroom bungalow in the suburb of Bentley East, just half an hour from the city. It's on the market for 460,000 Australian dollars, just over their budget at £230,000. The family's search for space doesn't get off to the best start.
Wipe your feet.
It's a very small living room, isn't it? It's very
Yeah,
compact.
it's actually smaller than what we got at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite compact.
Yeah, don't panic yet, Anthony. A games room next to an open-plan dining area and kitchen creates quite a big room.
It's growing.
This is a bigger space, isn't it? Much better
Much
space.
bigger. It's bigger than I expected it to be.
I don't think we need a snooker table, do we?
No.
Give us a break, Anthony. There must be something here that you like.
Nice kitchen.
That's your area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more promising, but are Alex and Anthony ready for double trouble in the bedrooms?
This looks like the smallest of them.
It's a gym at the moment, but it is actually a bedroom, girls.
Yeah.
So this would be one of your bedrooms.
Not mine. Too small.
You don't need
That wardrobe's too small.
the wardrobe
Too
too small
small.
for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do we need a second bedroom just for your wardrobe?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Rebecca has a Victoria Beckham-sized wardrobe in mind, and it's not shaping up. Maybe the next bedroom will meet her approval.
It's the same size. No, it's not. It's bigger.
It does seem
It's a
bigger.
different
It's
shape.
different shapes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Feels smaller to me.
Oh dear, now Amy doesn't seem too impressed.
They're both quite big bedrooms, aren't they, really?
Yeah,
The
neither
bigger-
of them are
it's bigger.
tiny. It's difficult to work out the size of the other bedroom without seeing a bed in it.
Yeah.
On to the master bedroom, and the girls have twigged that it's for Mum and Dad.
Mum's bedroom. Hey, Mummy.
What?
It's in suite.
And that must be the walk-in wardrobe.
That's my wardrobe. Where's
Yeah,
yours?
where's my stuff going to go?
It's a lot bigger than the other two bedrooms, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Well, it's because it's for 2 people.
It's really unusual having the different shape. It's not purely square, is it?
Finally, somebody's happy with the size and shape of a room. But how will the garden measure up?
It's a nice space. Not the sort of garden we expected, I don't think.
It's not, is it?
They're having trouble letting go of their much-loved UK home.
We're so used to having a big garden.
Yeah.
We haven't really thought about what the practicality would be of what we get
Yeah.
here.
There's nowhere for them to run around, is there?
It's looking really bleak until they discover a useful extra.
It's open the door, isn't it?
This spacious double garage could be ideal for teaching music.
That's cool.
So that's just to the side of the front door then?
Yeah.
But Anthony has spotted yet another problem.
There's not much room for pupils parking if we were going to teach from here, though. Is there?
No, it would have to be
quite
on
tricky.
road, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they'd have to park at
Because
the
you
end
wouldn't
and
get more
walk
than
up.
2 cars down here.
All things considered, it seems that size really does matter to the Evans family.
The house we just viewed is quite nice, but it's a little compact. I'm thinking of our music making and where we would do it. There's no separate bit where we can say go and
There's not
practice
a
in there.
4th bedroom that we'd be
Yeah.
able to use as a music room or a separate sort of like family living
Yeah.
room or something that could be turned into
Would it
just
be-
a music room.
With it being all the open plan way round that bit, I don't think it would suit us really. It's a nice house, but I don't think it suits the way we want or what we were expecting to live in.
Property 1 just isn't big enough for them, and it's slightly over budget. Maybe Property 2 will hit the right note. It's a 3-bedroom home in Aspendale, a coastal suburb south of the city. This colourful property has bags of character and is just 5 minutes from the beach. They'd need $550,000 or £275,000 to buy it. It's over budget, but if they could find enough teaching work, this is a property they could aspire to.
Flowers.
This house takes open plan living to an extreme level.
So look at that table.
That
Fantastic.
table is amazing.
The furniture seems to be making a good impression at least.
Nice space, this, isn't it?
It's an odd shape. It's really nice. It's really unusual.
Yeah, I like this.
It's big, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
a
bigger
nice
than I
space.
thought it was going to be.
It's a nice space.
The kitchen, by contrast, is tiny and it's a pretty shocking colour.
The kitchen is smaller, isn't it?
Yeah,
Particularly for you.
it is. There's no work surface, is there?
Next stop, the bedrooms, but will they meet the twins' high standards?
It's a little bedroom.
Got to step down.
It's a funny shape. Yeah, funny shape. I like it.
Not very big wardrobe.
That's a no then.
That's the thing that
Next door, the family-sized bathroom looks big enough.
Where does it go?
And could this be the perfect place for the twins to scrub up?
toilet in here.
Huge shower. 2 showers.
2 showers? That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're still a bit baffled by the Aussie-style layout.
It's still getting used to everything being on one level, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're so used to everything being on 2.
The family are not entirely convinced, and given the price, it's not a bad thing. But this property has a winning feature they're about to see.
Now this would be the music room, wouldn't it?
Wow.
And it would be pretty perfect, wouldn't it?
This is amazing.
It's a turning point. Suddenly, they can see themselves moving in.
Piano needs to be off the outside wall, doesn't it? But there's enough room in here to put the
Put it in the middle.
We can get a grand
There's room for any size of piano and plenty of storage space too.
instrument store.
The library. The music library.
An instrument store. Yeah.
Wow.
There's a water
This is amazing. But there's enough. You could get a quintet in here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
tank.
5 people
5
playing.
people playing together.
The studio is everything they dreamed of, just the right space to make noise and stay friends with the neighbours, but it comes at a price. The garden is small in comparison to their UK one. It backs onto a golf course, but Anthony and Alex fail to see the benefit.
The thing is with the golf course, you're never going to get any privacy in here, are you? Because there's going to be people walking past there all the time. So we might have to put a proper fence up.
Yeah, you couldn't line sunbathe in a bikini or anything, could you really?
Well, no, I wouldn't anyway.
I should hope not.
Me too. So would Property 2 give them the all-important room to make sweet music?
The studio space is absolutely spot on, exactly what we need.
That studio just
Yeah, it's great, absolutely.
is brilliant.
Loads of space and it is perfect for making music. Won't disturb anybody or it should be okay.
And the location seems to be working too.
The area seems lovely, even though we're not as rural as we thought we'd want to be. It has that feeling of being rural.
And Amy can see herself living here.
The bedrooms are quite widely apart from each other, so you can just...
Got your own space, haven't you?
You have your own privacy in your room.
And you can get away from your sister.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
They have found the spacious home they need, but at £75,000 over budget, it would break the bank. Will Property 3 help them make up their minds? This 3-bed house in the city suburb of Oakley South is more affordable. It's further from the beach, but it has extra space on offer in the shape of a sunroom and a carport. And it's bang on their budget at 400,000 Australian dollars, around £200,000. Once inside, they're straight into a very modern living room with a stunning fireplace. But Anthony is still struggling with the open plan concept.
I think I'd want doors on from there.
Everywhere's open plan though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was going to be like a cosy little room.
From the entrance.
Will the kitchen, his favourite room in the house, cheer him up?
Kitchen diner. Yeah, it's a big, nice work surface,
The
but it
kitchen-
is small, isn't it?
The kitchen's huge, but the dining area is the smallest.
It's the smallest open plan diner, kitchen diner we've seen, isn't it? It's quite
Yeah.
small, very small.
Oh dear, it's a big letdown. Let's hope the bedrooms are on the more generous side. Finally, after a hard day's searching, Amy and Rebecca find the holy grail of storage space.
Are you going to order for me?
Yes,
These look like doors into a room.
Yeah, it's just a wardrobe, isn't it? Walk-in
They won't
wardrobes.
open.
It's a good size room, good size bedroom, isn't
And
it?
it's nice having double room at the front,
Yeah.
so the kids aren't right there.
The family are beginning to feel more positive, but then they step into the hall.
We could put a piano there, but then
Yeah.
you'd have to have doors on here then.
And you couldn't play with the kids in bed.
No.
It's just odd, isn't it? Because the hallway's massive, but you can't do anything with it.
This property boasts extra space in the shape of a sunroom, but is it what Alex and Anthony had in mind?
When it said sunroom, I thought it was going to have a glass roof.
Yeah. Because you couldn't do music in here either.
No.
It's too thin.
It's a blow. Without that extra space for teaching, this property just won't work for them. The back garden is their last hope.
Nice decking area.
That's nice. Good.
Unlike the previous garden, the deck is a nicely secluded area.
It's nice for eating out. I like this,
Yeah.
so that you can't actually see anybody else.
So
It
is
just creates a bit of privacy.
that must be the way you drive into the carport then, is it?
And maybe the adjacent carport could be used as a music room. Problem is, it doesn't have any walls.
You get 2 cars under here.
Yeah, we would. But where we're going to do the music, we can't. There wouldn't be a music room, would there?
I do like the outside decking, but it is very small.
There's not a garden to speak of, is there? I think it's too small.
Yep.
Yet again, they're seriously disappointed with the lack of space available in this price bracket.
It is a very nice house, but I don't think it'll suit us. There's nowhere for us to do our music.
The price is definitely in budget.
Yeah.
And so in that aspect, it has shown that our budget isn't unrealistic and our budget could be met out here in Australia.
Melbourne property has been a big letdown for the Evans, and their decision is swaying towards home.
The house that we've got in the UK is really nice. A unique little place with quite a nice garden and plenty of rural space around us. The houses we've seen so far have not give us any of that feel at all. The prices of the houses I feel it might be a little bit on the high side in the areas that we've looked.
The houses we've seen have all been really nice. They've been very different to UK houses, but we've still liked the houses. They've just been too small and impractical for what we require. but we would certainly want to continue looking.
Property 1 was far too small for the family. They fell in love with Property 2, but it would break the budget, and the third house was unsuitable in every respect. So, after all that, can they see themselves buying a house down under?
Judging by the 3 properties that we've seen, I think that I will have to go for UK.
And I'll also vote UK.
It's a major setback for the family. The reality of what they could get for their money has been a shock, and nothing has come close to replacing their UK home. The Evans were surprised their money wouldn't go further in Melbourne. So for them to move to Australia, finding well-paid work is essential. They find making a living in the UK as music teachers tough. So can they make it work down under? Back at home, Alex and Anthony's job as music teachers is wearing them down. They work all hours, commute long distances and rarely spend time together as a family.
We're hoping that the work life won't be as manic as what we have to do to make ends meet in the UK. And we won't have to work all the hours God sends to live the way we want to live.
As the main visa applicant, Alex is spending the day at a local primary school to get an idea of Aussie music teaching. It's just a 10-minute drive from their rental property and has a great reputation for music. While Alex gets to work, Anthony and the girls are heading off to get a taste of food shopping in Melbourne. With the family's future in mind, Alex is anxious to make a good impression.
Oh, look who's here.
Hi, Justin.
How are you, Alex?
Nice to meet you.
You too, you too.
Unlike the UK, music education in Australia is often provided by independent agencies. Alongside teaching, Justin Forster runs his own company, placing staff in schools across Melbourne. He's a great contact and someone Alex really needs to impress. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning, but Justin and his young musicians are raring to go.
So what we're going to do today is we'll have the band rehearsal up until 9 o'clock, and then after that we do a little bit of private woodwind teaching.
There's a busy day planned, and it's looking scarily hands-on for Alex.
Hey. So this is our band room, and this is the music room of the school. Okay.
It's time for Alex to step up and perform.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, Alex is feeling positive.
I must say it's really impressive to see a band within a primary school.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's quite rare to get a band of this size in a primary school.
The morning is flying by, and so far Alex has loved joining in with the children. But Justin wants to take a closer look at her teaching skills, and so she's going solo, teaching a lesson in one of the school's practice rooms. Today she's teaching brothers Steve and Daniel, with Justin keeping a watchful eye.
Okay, this is Alex.
All I want you to do is make up a little rhythm, but only using that one note.
Whilst Alex is being put through her paces, Anthony and the girls are checking out Melbourne's Queen Victoria food market. This local institution has been feeding Melburnians for 130 years. From crocodile meat to emu and kangaroo, it has an incredible array of produce for sale. This morning, Anthony and the girls are shopping for an all-Australian barbie.
Red wine flavour? I think I'll buy some of them. Thank you, ladies. Have a nice weekend. $6.25. That's great.
The chance to try before you buy is winning Amy and Rebecca over.
Right, we'll get some salad.
So, having tasted the wares of the market, is keen cook Anthony impressed?
There's so much to choose from, it's unbelievable. All the fruit and veg is very, very fresh. It's really good, but too busy for me, I think.
And he can't help wondering how Alex is getting on.
Hopefully she'll come back with some positive feedback from the potential employers. Hopefully we'll find something.
Brilliant.
Back at school, Alex is getting ready to teach her second lesson of the day. Thankfully, she has an instrument in common with her next pupil, Sarah.
Yeah? Do you want to do it as a duet? Okay. And we'll write it through and I'll let you lead it, so whatever speed you want to go, you take it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So with the end of Alex's audition in sight, does Justin think she's got what it takes?
So far, what she has shown is all the attributes that a good teacher has. It is early days, but if Alex and her family decided to come to Melbourne to live, that would be a great thing for us.
But to make the move, Alex needs to be certain that both she and Anthony could find enough work. After the lesson, she's eager to find out what Justin could offer.
At the current position, what sort of hours, what amount of work would be available with your company?
Immediately, what I would look at is about 9 to 10 hours work at 3 different schools, just a couple of days a week.
Well, it's not full-time, but it's a start. What about the all-important commute?
At the moment, I can be doing 5 schools in a day, and I could be covering 30 miles just from my first to my last school.
Really?
During the day, as well as getting to and from the schools.
Over in England?
Yes.
Yeah? Wow, no, nothing like that here. You'd never work 5 schools in one day. The thought of that makes me tired. How have you been coping with that? No wonder you're coming down here.
So has her morning at the school left Alex feeling she could make a go of music teaching in Melbourne?
At the moment, the amount of work that Justin's able to offer wouldn't necessarily give me my full-time salary. I would definitely need to supplement it. I couldn't manage on just this one job with 10 hours a week.
And how will she vote, UK or Australia?
From this morning's work experience at the school, it's been a really positive experience. I've had a great time and really interesting to compare the work over here with my work in the UK. And so for work, my vote has to be Australia.
With one part-time offer of work to go on, is Alex sure she'd be making the right decision? Alex and Anthony Evans and twins Rebecca and Amy are longing for a simpler and less stressful way of life.
We feel that we're working too much in this country to make ends meet, and we think that perhaps over there life might be a little bit better.
But their day looking at Melbourne property made them realise there's no place like home.
The houses we've seen, they've been very different to UK houses, but we've still liked the houses. They've just been too small and impractical for what we require.
Time spent in the classroom showed Alex that teaching in Australia isn't really any easier.
I couldn't manage on just this one job with 10 hours a week.
And when push finally comes to shove, would Anthony be able to leave his grown-up children, Katie and Aaron, behind? The true cost of moving down under is hitting home for Anthony and Alex. But given their stressful life back in the UK, could the Australian lifestyle be the deciding factor? Today, Alex, Anthony and the girls are hiring bikes and setting off to explore the Melbourne coastline. The city and its surrounds offer numerous bike trails perfect for a family day out. The Evans are following a beachside route which leads up to St Kilda Pier, a historic Melbourne landmark. It's a rare opportunity for some quality time together.
At the moment, I hardly see Alex because she's out at work or I'm out at work.
We've got to find some time to be a family, which is the one thing we really feel we don't do at the moment.
But the reality of what they'd be leaving behind is beginning to sink in.
This is the time, by the end of our visit here, that we're likely to feel the distance and be much more aware of what and who we'll miss back in the UK. Friends, family, location, everything that we used to.
And there's the girls' future to weigh up.
I'm not sure how the impact of actually emigrating over there will have on the girls and whether they understand that we're not coming back. I don't know. But, I don't know whether they'll miss their grandparents or their friends from school, godparents, things that are special to them.
There are so many pros and cons to mull over before they make their life-changing decision. Amy and Rebecca have really enjoyed the ride.
Well, we've been cycling and I kept doing races with Daddy and I kept winning the races. I liked it because it's very different to what we do at home.
It's really unusual for us sitting somewhere like this at the end of a pier, yet having a fantastic view of Melbourne skyline, and it's just so unlike anything in the UK.
But Anthony is keeping a close eye on the pennies.
The girls had a sandwich each and me and Alex have had a cup of coffee. They've had a milkshake and it's worked out about £15 roughly, which is maybe a little bit expensive, but we are in like a very touristy type place really, so we'd expect to spend a bit more money.
At the end of the day, is the Melbourne lifestyle ringing the family's bell?
In the UK, you'd have to pay to go, take the girls into some sort of indoor activity centre, whereas here, it's just throw them on the beach and they'll be fine.
Everything seems more welcoming, it seems more open to family activities. And things like the cycling, having the regular cycle path and regular walkways. And it's just been really nice having the openness and the facility to do it.
So how will they vote, UK or Australia?
This morning's experience with our bike riding, we've all had a really enjoyable time. The weather's been fantastic, so my vote for lifestyle has to be Australia.
This is a sort of activity that you can do all year round here, obviously, and in England you can't do that, so my vote is Australia.
With thoughts turning to home, could the Evans really afford to fall for the Aussie way of life? For Anthony, leaving the UK also means leaving his grown-up children. And when you're in a new country so far away from loved ones, friends become terribly important. We recorded some messages for the family from their loved ones back home.
Hi Dad, hi Alex, hi Amy, hi Rebecca. Hope all's good out there. Parties here are fantastic, going all night, all morning.
When Alex first mentioned it, I didn't have any reservations because I knew she's one of these people that is going to do something completely off the wall.
Alex is really supportive of my decisions and choices that I make, and she's I can always go to her when I want some advice or any questions I want to ask her. She's always got the information I want to hear, and we get on really well. We get on more like sisters and stepmom and stepdaughter.
You don't get true friends like Alex every day. You might have lots of acquaintances, but for me she is one of my best friends, and I will miss her, and I said I wouldn't cry, so I'm going to try not to.
She's a very bubbly person, but has a great private core to her, I think, as well. I was there at the birth of the girls, the twins, which is a great privilege for me, so I've seen them really from the year dot and have been very lucky to do so.
Anthony is going to have a bit of a problem because he's going to feel really guilty at leaving Katie and Aaron. And he needs to get over that and realise that Katie and Aaron are now adult and they've got their own lives.
You only get one dad, like, and once he's gone, I can't pop in and just say hello or borrow money.
I'll miss the girls because they look up to me, don't they? And like they admire them. They're really great girls.
I'm going to miss having a friend that is that close, because school friends come and go, but when you find a good one, it's really hard to wave goodbye.
It's a realisation that if you do say, you're saying bye, and you might not see them again. Because it's such a long-term thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And we will miss them, because he's our baby brother. You must do what's best for you. It's important that you do what's best for you. We'll miss you and we'll always love you, but do what's best.
But Alex, you're my oldest friend, and we go back so long. We've had good times and bad times, and we've been there for each other. So I miss you, and I will miss you, but we'll always keep in touch.
We're missing you loads. Can't wait for you to get back. See you soon. Bye.
I hope this first experience of Australia turns out to be really good for you. And if it's what you finally want to do, you know you go with our blessing and our love. We'll miss you. But we'll see you again sometime, somehow.
I expected it to be hard when we saw it, and I expect it to be even harder still if we take the plunge and decide to come and live out here. And I don't think that however much we prepare ourselves, we'll ever really understand how hard it's going to be until we do it.
Yes, we'll miss them, but they're grown up. You know, my children are grown up. They've got their own lives to lead now, and I can't be there for them all the time. But we've got to think about us and what we want and what's best for us. My mum being 88, she's obviously, she could live for another 20 years, knowing her. She's the old matriarch now. But, you know, there is a chance that I might never see her again if I come back over. But it's got to be a decision that we've got to make together. And once we make that decision, that's that. There's no coming back.
Such a mix of emotions. However much a move down under beckons, it's clear that Anthony, for one, is being pulled in different directions. The trial week has been an important learning experience for the Evans. They came looking for a simpler life, but has it really been that different to the UK? Australian property left them feeling flat.
The house prices, we feel, we'll need to go out of the city more to get what we want.
In order to get an extra room that could be used as a music room, that would definitely mean that we needed to go a bit further out of Melbourne. Even the outer Melbourne suburbs were still quite pricey to give us the extra accommodation.
Alex enjoyed her experience of music teaching down under.
The work experience was a really positive experience. I was also very pleased to find the enthusiasm with teaching music and both by the pupils of learning music.
The rate of pay of about $40 an hour is on par with what we're earning, or Alex is earning in the UK. I earn a little bit more in a private school, and Alex's work experience was in a public school or state school. So maybe in the private schools it might be a little bit more. Maybe, we don't know, we'll have to see.
But to make it work would mean combining part-time jobs, leaving little time for family life. And there's Amy and Rebecca's future to take into account.
Obviously the girls and their impressions were a huge part of our decision. If they didn't want to do it, we really wouldn't. The impression I get from them is they've both loved this week. And they are at the moment talking about why do we have to go home to sort it out, why can't we just stay?
So as their trial week comes to an end, can the Evans see themselves taking the big leap and starting again in Australia? It's time for the family to make up their minds in one last vote.
So we've had our week in Australia, and it's been interesting. My final vote is Australia.
And my final vote is Australia.
My final vote is Australia. My final vote is Britain.
Mum, Dad and Rebecca are ready to begin a new life down under. But for Amy, family and friends are just too important to leave behind. Although the Evans family didn't find the house of their dreams in Melbourne, they haven't given up hope of finding a new life in Australia. I could see Amy would really miss those loved ones back home, but the rest of the family feel they'll be better off moving where they're wanted down under. Join us next time and find out what happens when another British family decide whether to go where they're wanted down under.
Tennis down under with live quarter-final action right now on the red button. Next here on BBC One, a property project not for the faint-hearted goes under the hammer.